Hey, how come you guys never play the Beatles?
Why don't you play the Beatles? I never hear the Beatles.
Here at WMJI 102.7, we play the Beatles, but you'll never hear them. No, you'll never hear them as long as you're listening to us on YouTube. See, unless you're listening to us directly from WMJI 102.7 Friesenopolis Studios in Friesenopolis, or on some other device that's directly from the source, you won't be hearing bands like the Beatles, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, or Jimi Hendrix. It's because the people at YouTube are basically jackasses. But hey, it's not YouTube's fault. It's actually Michael Jackson's people that are really the jackasses. Don Henley, he's a real piece of shit.
This is illegal through an evil eye, and I won't deceive you. This I testify. You all know the reasons why. Guns only enslave you. Jesus can't save you, though it's nice to think he tried. This is not to scare you, this is to make sense of our time. Do prophets speak in rhyme? Yeah, then you die.
102.7 WMJI, Weekends with Ryan Young. That's ZZ Top with a B-side tune called Thug off one of their most famous albums, Eliminator. Black Crowes back there with Evil Eye, unreleased track from one of their bootleg CDs. And now it is time for This Week in Rock and Roll. All right, This Week in Rock and Roll. Let's start with a birthday. Remembering the late great guitarist and keyboardist Bob Casale, aka Bob number 2 of Devo, on what would have been his 68th birthday on July 14th. On This Week in Rock and Roll, the Quarrymen finally had their most Beatle lineup. The Quarrymen in 1958, featuring John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and George Harrison, recorded a little ditty called That'll Be the Day, a cover of a Buddy Holly and the Crickets tune. This Week in Rock and Roll in 1964, the Stones were at number 1 on the UK singles charts with their cover of Bobby Womack's It's All Over Now. This would be the group's first of 8 singles to top the UK charts. Also this week in rock and roll, the former Byrds guitarist Clarence White was killed by a drunk driver as he was loading equipment after a show in Palmdale, California. On This Week in Rock and Roll in 1979, Cheap Trick peaked at number 4 on the Billboard 200 album charts with their Live at Budokan. This was their first top 10 album in the U.S. And finally, on This Week in Rock and Roll in 1967, The Who kicked off their first U.S. tour at the Memorial Coliseum in Portland, Oregon. They were actually opening, if you can believe that. They were the opening act for Herman's Hermits. That's This Week in Rock and Roll.
I know you deceived me, now here's a surprise. I know that you have, 'cause there's magic in my eyes. I can see for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. Oh yeah. If you think that I don't know about the little tricks you play, and never see you when deliberately you put things in my way, well, here's a poke at you. You're gonna choke on it too. You're gonna lose that smile because all the while I could see for miles and miles. I could see for miles and miles. I could see for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. Oh yeah. You took advantage of my trust in you when I was so far away. I saw you holding lots of other guys, and now you've got the nerve to say that you still want me. Well, that says maybe, but you gotta stand trial, because all the while I can see for miles and miles. I can see for miles and miles. I can see for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. Oh yeah. Deceived me, now here's a surprise. I know that you have, 'cause there's magic in my eyes. I can see for miles and gonna choke on it too. You're gonna lose that smile, because all the while I could see for miles and miles. I could see for miles and miles. I could see for miles and 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 miles. I could see for 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 miles and miles.
I Can See for Miles, 1967, The Who, 102.7 WMJI, The Rock of Friesnopolis. I'm Ryan Young, with you every weekend and every Sunday night. It's time now for our Spotlight, and what we're going to do a little different in this hour, this week, for our Spotlight, instead of just picking a group and playing two tracks from that group and doing a double shot, as we like to call it, or whatever, I have gotten my hands on some extra questions, some extra interview snippets from Grizzly Interviews, KISS, Drake Grizzly's brand new program, syndicated radio show, where he interviews different celebrities and rock bands and whatnot. And his first episode was interviewing the entire group KISS. So if you didn't catch the interview, the show, Grizzly Interviews, premiere episode KISS, there will be a rebroadcast here on WMJI 102.7 on Wednesday, and a brand new show on Wednesday as well. I'm hearing that he'll be interviewing the Pixies. But there was some extra KISS stuff that didn't make it to the final edit of the program, so I have gotten my hands on some extra questions for Gene and Paul and Peter and Ace from Drake Grizzly. So let's get into that right now as Grizzly Interviews KISS. Bonus questions. Drake Grizzly's still here with KISS, Grizzly Interviews, and I've been lucky enough to be interviewing the members of KISS. Do you guys miss the intimacy of playing clubs ever?
Did clubs for enough years. I don't
No,
miss them.
no.
I don't miss them one iota. It's great to be back in big
Yeah.
arenas. I love it. I didn't like the clubs at all. I'll be real honest.
Well, yeah.
I think most of the time when people say how great it is playing clubs, it's usually because they can't fill an arena.
Yeah.
You know,
Right on,
it's
Paul.
sure it's nice to go do a club once in a while to get a taste of that. But anybody who says that the clubs are the way to go clearly can't find their way into a stadium and arena.
We were talking about that on the way
more
here in
power
this
to
car.
them. But
Clubs.
the reality is that what we do translates and transfers very well to a large audience. And I think we're at our best in a large arena rather than a small one.
I mean, you play the clubs. To me, they're bars. They're a bunch of drunks. No one really cares. They're shooting pool. You're up there singing your heart out. You're playing your heart out. I didn't like it. I did it for a while, and it's great to be back with these guys. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I didn't. You know, the clubs, you could take them and shove them. I don't miss them. It's just not cool. You're freezing your ass off half the times. The amps don't work. People are not even there. Clubs are hard.
When I played in stadiums, I wasn't able to see the audience very well, and then I realized that my eyesight was starting to go.
Could be the haze.
So I got contacts last week, so now I'm really going to enjoy playing.
If you people want a little bit of rock and roll, I said if you people want a little bit of rock and roll, shout it out loud. Well, when that free come and you want some fun, do you think you're gonna buy me? Think you're gonna buy me? You got to treat yourself like a loved one. Do you need to be reminded? Need to
How do you get the edge back? I mean, after all these years, all these albums, all these tours, all these videos, everything. How do you get that edge back? That Kiss edge.
Edge starts with self. Doesn't matter how many bones you've got through your noses or how many razor blades you've got in your eyes. That's all outer surface stuff. That's style and fashion. If you've got something to prove to yourself, that's all the edge you need. It's the same adrenaline and stuff that makes a fighter go into a ring and become the world champion. And if you've got something to prove to yourself, that's all the edge you need. We are so pumped up about going out there and showing everybody that what they've heard all these years isn't just a fairy tale, that there is a Kiss, there once was a Kiss, and we're going to knock your socks off. We're going to get up there and prove, literally, we're going to show all the bands out there how the big boys do it.
Now, you said it's the farewell tour several times. I remember myself taking a stripper girlfriend of mine from Reno to the farewell tour that you did with Skid Row and Ted Nugent in 2000, but that wasn't the farewell tour. Are you ever really going to stop touring?
The tour has real long-range plans, and as long as it's fun for us, we're going to keep coming back to visit our friends.
And you're invited.
WMJI 102.7. Ryan Young with you on a Sunday night. Getting towards the end of the evening. We got one more hour to go. Hope you enjoyed the bonus questions, the little extra audio clips that I found from the Grizzly Interviews premiere episode where he interviewed the members of KISS. Don't forget next Wednesday, or this Wednesday, actually, in a couple days here, there will be a encore presentation of that premiere episode of Grizzly Interviews KISS, but then there will be the second episode as well of Grizzly Interviews where he will be interviewing the members of the Pixies, very influential alternative rock group from the late 80s and early 90s. We still have some live Rolling Stones ahead of us, plus your requests in our last request segment of the show, and I have a winner for the Polar Pizza, Grumpy's Ice Cream, and Dragon Brain movie tickets giveaway. So I will hip you to the winner of that, and we will kick off the next hour with some live Rolling Stones right after this. WMJI 102.7, the Rock of Friesnopolis. How come you guys don't play AC/DC? I never hear any AC/DC. You guys play AC/DC? Here at WMJI, we play AC/DC, but you'll never hear it. No, you'll never hear it as long as you're listening to us on some sort of streaming device or YouTube, because it'll get blocked. In order to hear what we're really playing all the time, you have to listen directly from WMJI 102.7 source in Friesnopolis. So unless you're listening to us in Friesnopolis City, get on that horse that you rode in on and get the fuck out of here. I don't know what to say. Yeah, YouTube. It's not really their fault. It's more whoever's controlling the Jimi Hendrix, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, Beatles catalog. And those people are usually old fucks that are complete assholes. Like Don Henley. He's a real piece of shit. So listen to what we can rock on WMJI 102.7, the Rock of Friesnopolis. Don Henley. He's a real piece of shit.